Everything is a conversation. Every voice has value, and every conversation is an opportunity to transform lives. Join us on the journey to find the goal. Hey, I'm Cindy-Leigh.
And I'm Teesh.
Welcome to our very last episode number 10 of our season 1 of Hello from Moscow.
Wow, we are at the end of the season.
I know.
It's been 10 months.
10 months.
10 months since our very first episode in the beginning.
And it started with just like literally on a tram in Melbourne going, hey, let's just do a podcast, and here we are.
Let's talk about bringing conversations back to the middle ground, I guess.
I know. And our slogan being everything's a conversation has literally, that's what it's been. And it's been a journey, and we're so grateful that you guys have stayed on the journey. And don't worry, this won't be our last one. We're just...
No, but we thought for this episode we would just do a little bit of a reminisce of the
down
episodes,
memory lane.
down memory lane, the last 10 months. It's been a quick... fast moving, but at the same time memory making 10 months. So today
it's almost
just
like
round the fire.
Literally.
One of our favorite things to do actually is have a good old yarn around the fire. It's one of our favorite pastimes. So today you're here joining in
our fire. So welcome. So let's talk about episode 1.
Yeah.
It was in the beginning. We were just talking about us and how we got here, and like, what was your takeaway from that one, you reckon?
I think in that one where we were sharing about a little bit about who we are, what we liked, what we found funny and stuff like that. I think, it was really still fresh because in many ways at that time, 10 months ago, we were still really getting to know more about each other. And so that was just something so awesome. This adventure, Hello From Us, is truly been an adventure. It's been a growth journey as well. It's challenged us. It's grown us in many, many different ways. I think one of the things that come to mind, even right up on episode 1, is we've learned how to banter, but we've learned how to argue well. We do not agree on most things, actually.
But in a good way. It's not like, we have like this far out philosophy that's weighed from each other, but we just
but just I guess in the sense of bringing everything to the middle ground. I think the last 10 months is literally us having walked that exact idea or concept. It is even for us understanding our different capacities and different walks of life, and then just finding middle ground for our friendship has been something really, really cool to see, and this podcast has helped with that.
No, it's been amazing. I think about that first episode. Like, I know you were relatively new to podcasting, and I'd done one with my brother. But like, it was kind of like fresh again for me. So I was like, I don't know, sometimes I think I found it easy when I used to do them live. And then now when we pre-record them, like, I don't know, we do like 5 or 10 takes and and a whole bunch of whatever in between. We will have to put some bloopers up for you guys. But so then we went into episode 2, which was about
self-care.
Self-care with Michelle Keener. So for me, that episode was quite I went away going, oh my gosh, OMG, I need to actually do some work. I need to actually pause and be intentional about actually looking after myself and not just going, oh, she'll be right, mate, the Aussie way. Like, it's all right, I'll just keep pushing through. I'll pull up my big girl undies and
oh dear.
It's like, I had to learn that. So I'm grateful for that, and I don't always get it right, but I'm definitely, what about yourself? How did you go with that one?
I think that's definitely, self-care. It's almost like a buzzword. It's about me time, and we're hearing a lot about that. But I don't know how much of it we're actually doing. And doing holistically. And so a big part of the last 10 months was, for me, slowing down and really trying to look after myself, albeit I didn't do that very well. I ended up in hospital a couple of times. Just, a little bit depleted and run down, but I'm learning. I'm on a journey. But, looking after yourself so you can be who you're supposed to be, the best version of you around others is the best thing you can do, the kindest thing you can do for everyone in your world. And so it's important.
It is super important. So yeah, that was great.
I guess, and then we hit episode 3. I think that was in the Nicholas precinct here in Ipswich.
We did in Ipswich, yeah, because we tried to do like different locations, right? Just kind of.
We tried, but you know, life happens, children, a whole bunch of things. But you know, for the most part, we have tried to get to different places, but we've loved everywhere we've been. So.
And it's been cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that one.
The digital world, the paradox of our digital world. So connection, is it providing connection or isolation?
Yeah.
And I guess one of the things we arrived at was it was a little bit of both. But one thing that we had to be aware of in our digital world was that we remained true to connecting, to truly connecting.
Yeah.
So that's been an important lesson, I guess, and a reminder.
Yep. And I think like one of the takeaways for me from that one is like, again, being more intentional about, you know, are we always down like this in our you know, in our phones, and or are we actually being a part of the conversation with our friends and family, and even just Joe Blow that you've just met on the street, like, are we actually taking the time, or are we doing the old Aussie thing like, g'day mate, how you doing, and we keep walking, and if someone gives us a response, we're like, oh, we're not ready for it because we're so used to. So, you know, and the digital world's just growing so fast. So I think it's just important, like, you know, that we're having real conversation and not AI.
One of the things that, like, that episode really brought to the fore was that I'm a mum of 3 raising a generation that does not know a time before a digital world.
Yeah.
And so as much as I load some of the pressures and demands of our digital age that we live in, it quickly also brought to the fore that I actually need to be more involved in this. And more front-footed about understanding their world and the landscape and how it looks and how they communicate and what they're thrown in, and meet them on that playing field and bring our conversations and our teaching and our understanding back to the middle ground, even for them. So not just everything that I know how to do and how we did it, but actually learning to listen and pay attention, because you know, the landscape of the world for them looks entirely different to when we were 6 years old. And
100%. I moved into it with my nephew. I was like, oh my gosh, at his age, I was literally riding motorbikes and on bicycles, but that's not the world they live in. So sometimes I learned through that episode actually not putting that pressure on even him to be something that's not their world. So and then we moved to episode 4.
We had Enoch and Summer Kenway.
The Kenways. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was really good.
We did it in the diner. Where was that?
The Milk Bar.
The Milk Bar.
Oh, that was really
Shout
cool. Out to the Milk Bar.
Yeah, great milkshakes.
Awesome. And great fries too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the fries are good.
If you're looking for an incredible diner here in Ipswich in the CBD, check out the Milk Bar. The Milk Bar. We just renamed it for you, mate. But that was a great episode because it was like world view. It really was. So that episode was called Love Beyond Borders. And we were talking to Enoch and Summer Kenway at the time. Enoch was sharing with us them and their 3 children were relocating to Thailand to work in the nation of Thailand. After having lived there for 7 years, they were here for a short stint for a year back for a period of time, and then they were moving back there permanently. And I think what that episode brought to the fore is a challenge to know that we live for a cause bigger than ourselves.
100%,
and that people matter. Here and in our neighborhood or in another nation. And so, you know, living with the future in mind, I guess.
And I think he really brought to the forefront as well about just the concept of communicating to another world beyond our world. And I thought that was amazing, just like how they do life and just actually, again, it's all about being intentional, if you want to know
relationship. Like, I think you know that one of the things Enoch really stressed in that episode, but also just in their lives, the way they live, everything for them is out of relationship. And so, you know, making friends with the community they're involved in, starting a local soccer team and running English classes, but, you know, just pouring back into the community.
So cool.
Was like something super special to hear about, but be challenged about.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, one of the things I think out of that, for me, that I'd want you to remember out of that episode is that we're all called to live a life bigger than ourselves. And we're all called to contribute to our community and to the people around us. And so, you know, having an awareness of that.
Which is super important. And then as our podcast goes out now, they're literally back over there now living.
Yes.
So we love you guys heaps, and we're praying for you guys. And so it's awesome.
Big love to the Kenways.
Big love. Yeah. And then we moved on to episode
5, which was gratitude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was something dear to our hearts, actually. Yes. And we did that here at your home.
Yes. Yeah. Just talking about the practice of gratitude daily, not only you know, scientifically how that has affected the brain and anxiety and depression, all of that, but also just as a rule of life, just out of having a disposition that brings you back to a sense of thankfulness and joy, puts you on a even playing field, and not letting your circumstances dictate
your future.
Who you are and how you feel.
Yeah. I think my takeaway from that one was I restarted my gratitude journal. Yeah. It was something I had done for years and then just stopped. But after that episode, I was like, wow, like we have so much to be grateful for, and you can just like miss those little things that are actually important.
Or, you know, they can become so we can become so blasé about it, and also just then cultivate this entitlement disposition.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, take it for granted. That's supposed to happen, you know. Yeah. And become ungrateful.
And that's quite easily done in this day and age, to be very ungrateful. So talking about being grateful, we skipped one of the episodes, but I believe that was one of your favorite ones.
Yeah.
Episode 5.
Episode 5 with Justin Gage. So cultivating resilience.
That was a brilliant episode.
That was really awesome. Just, I don't know, just connected us by our humanity, I guess, our brokenness, the difficulties we walk through daily as human beings in our families or in our workplaces, but just really bringing back to that simple reminder, be there for your mate, stand up, show up, you know, actively listen, and then just live each day to be kind to people, and they'll be kind to you. Yeah. But also just that sense of mateship. It was brilliant. Having walked through a mental health journey personally within our immediate family many moons ago, I still learnt so much, and even some of the things that were unresolved in my mind and my heart about that season. I felt that episode just answered so many questions, and encouraged me to remember how I can now help people who are walking through things like that. Yeah,
and it was the same for me. Like, I've also walked through that journey with some of my family, and again, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm not actually doing as bad as I think I am, you know? And he was like so encouraging and reassuring that, you know what, just show up, just keep loving. So that was amazing. And then we went on a little journey
on our mini series
to finish out our last, 4 episodes. We went into episode 8, wasn't it?
Episode 8.
We started our friendship.
Episode 8.
There you go, episode 8. We started our friendship series, and we just felt to kind of just talk a little bit about friendship, and as we've been journeying and building our friendship, and so episode 8 was, what was episode 8 about?
Who needs friends? Who needs friends?
Who needs friends?
Yeah.
Well, we established that we definitely need friends, because there's so much value in having a village. Your people. And it is, you need to have your people that you can do life with, and I think it's a necessity. To have the people that you can, and they're not necessarily your friends, are not necessarily your family, but they become your family. It's your friends that become your family. And I have just, it was an episode that was dear to me too, because I'd felt like I'd been on this journey of just, you're in like friendships and building new friendships, and even our friendship was developing and stuff. So I found it was like, this is really cool. Like it was just like, actually, we do need friends, and who do I have in my world, in my space?
Yeah, I think for that, who needs friends, that really brought it home for me about assessing my friendships. And not just like saying who's in and who's out.
You're in, you're out.
No, but more so of the fact that people are in your world. Do they know that they're in your world?
Yeah.
And if they are in your world as, as a kind friend, or someone to be accountable to, or someone who's the encourager, or someone who just keeps it real and puts you in your place when you need to, do they know that?
Do they actually know that?
Do they know that? Do they know that you have that expectation? Or also, have you just been honest and transparent and vulnerable enough to let them in so they can be that to you, a friend that way to you? And so that was really challenging, I guess. But just also the reminder that we're not meant to do life on our own.
No, we're not.
So,
we are not. And you do need it's like if sometimes it feels like cliche, but you need a village.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's easy to experience disappointment with people and hurt and pick up offense. But I think in as easy it is to do that, we have to find a very consistent method to remind us to lay those things down, because people are way more important than any kind of disposition we have about who's right and who's wrong and whose side are we on. Relationship just brings so much of the gold into our world.
Yeah,
and
it
so
does.
Fostering that, nurturing it, and being intentional is something we have to do.
100%. Like, I know I walked away from that episode also going, okay, there are areas I need to fix as a friend as well. So I was definitely challenged.
And then we hit one of the bigger road bumps, I guess, for episodes. We spoke about trust.
That was episode 9, was it?
Yeah, trust in friendship.
Trust in friendship.
Yeah.
And like, what happens when trust is diminished? Like, what happens after that?
Yeah.
Like loyalty, all that stuff. And I actually got a lot out of that episode as well, and I also was like, whoa.
And we had a few times to put it into practice.
Yes, we did.
So it's not all talk. There was some action.
I think we were recording a podcast and we're just like, okay, cut. Let's just deal with this and let's get back into it.
So I'm just keeping it real, but friendship takes work.
Yeah.
And if you want to, gain out of it, it takes investment even from you. It's not just, a one-way street. You've got to give vulnerability. You've got to give emotional space and understanding and active listening. You've got to give off your time.
Yeah. And I think you got to also realize that we all handle things differently.
Yeah.
I think it was a time there where we both were like, way we would handle a situation. Like, you were someone who just was like, let's deal with this now, where I'm like, no, I need to just go away a little bit. Yeah. And it was like, no, let's deal with it now.
Yeah.
And it was just like, but it was a lesson for both of us to go, actually, let's let each other deal with the way So we're telling you, we did put stuff into practice. We've been very transparent.
Some fun times.
But it makes for good bloopers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One of our last episode was friendship across the generations.
Yes. I think we ran out of numbers. I think we've messed our numbers up.
Yeah, I don't know, but
you know what?
Summing it all up. Living through
that was the last
10 months.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that one was really special, just even humbling, in fact, while talking about friendships across the generations, recognizing how rich my life is with friendships across generations, older people, younger people. And again, I think this entire season drove home for me the richness that people add to your world. And so while the world is full of, ups and downs and disappointments and people who can deceive and betray and all of that, across it all, we're all human. We all mess up. But we all deserve a second chance.
Yeah, come on.
And we deserve, connection and being connected in friendship and in relationship with each other.
Yeah, and like, just cherish. Like, I think one of the biggest things I've learned through this whole season is just to cherish the ones that you love.
Yeah.
And like to, that they truly are like gems in our life.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You know, to get a beautiful gem like a diamond, it goes under pressure and it's, you know, thrashed and all that type of stuff. Not that we're doing thrashings, but it's like it's put under like extreme
Intense
pressure.
pressure.
Yeah, and I think like I'm just so more. I don't know. I just feel like my life is so much richer for having great friendships. Like, yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so it's been good. So it
was, really, really good journey. Thank you for following along with us. Thank you for starting the journey. Thank you for the encouragement we receive from all your DMs. We really love hearing what you're getting out of the podcast. And again, we by no means started this podcast as experts on anything.
No.
But it was our desire to create space for a conversation around many things that have, you know, just in our context and in our society today is just so polarized.
Yeah, and just always trying to, like we say, we'll try and finding the gold, eh?
Yes, so bringing everything into back to a place of conversation so we could dig out the gold.
Yeah.
And we sure have. We've had some really golden moments and, you know, golden trophies to take home even and put on the cabinet and to stare at, which is just love people, value each other, seize the moment, be present in it.
And to draw on each other's strengths as well, and to, you know, not be pointing out everyone's weaknesses, and to be like, you know what, I could actually be a strength there. And so it's been a journey, and you know what I'm excited about is just what season 2 is gonna hold.
Yes,
like I'm super excited about it because I think it's just, I don't know, we don't even know ourselves yet, so we
have promised you some music, and I promise in the next season that will feature at some point.
We are going to do something a lot different in the next season. I think you're probably going to see more of us in our other elements of being vulnerable in that space. But again, we just want to have conversation, and we just want to be able to chat and have you guys, you know, be more a part of the journey and all that type of stuff. But it's been great. I've enjoyed it.
And we just want to thank you for tuning in, like from all over the world, and you know, really just riding the wave.
Literally, there are people from the UK.
Yeah.
There are people from the United States. I saw on there was people from Japan.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, literally, like, konnichiwa. Like, we've literally, just, like, all over the world, people have been just, whether they tune in or watch it on YouTube, whatever. But we're grateful, and we would love for you, if you have a YouTube account, to go onto YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube account.
Yeah.
Our Instagram account has all of our apparel. This is one of ours.
Hey, it is hoodie season.
Come on, hoodie season.
Check out our merch on hellofromusco.com.
Yeah.
But you will find their beanies and hoodies.
There's hoodies and
great
jackets
t-shirt designs, and it's really, that in itself has been mind-blowing, having the opportunity to do that and bless people in that way, I suppose. I just feel like this podcast, in as much as it was for bringing conversation to the fore and, you know, the hope of blessing 1 or 2 people or 10 of you, it has really blessed us and also launched us into a new season.
Yeah,
as friends, and you know,
and even traveling. We've been traveling, which has been great.
Yeah,
like, all over everywhere, and it's been awesome just to, And I guess we should put more adventures up. We should probably do that for you guys. Put more of our adventures up.
Yes, yes.
Maybe even some more of our bloopers, so you can have a good laugh.
Yes. There's been many, actually. So many bloopers.
Actually, we're a live blooper.
Maybe an entire episode will be devoted to all of the bloopers. I don't know. We'll see.
We actually are quite funny live.
Or late at night. Late at night when you're sleep deprived.
True.
And she says to me, "You're yawning a lot. Please act interested." And I'm like, "I am interested, but I'm also very tired."
No, but we love you guys. We appreciate all your support. And don't forget to go to hellofromusco.com and check out all the great stuff we have. And it also has like where we are. So if you ever locally, wherever we are, we'd love for you guys to come down and say hello
in person.
Yeah, our merchandise is actually going to be in the next coming weeks. We're going to be in Bundaberg and Rockhampton again, and also in Sydney and Orange, and a whole bunch of other places coming up this month. So
come on.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So yeah, but thank you, we love you.
It's been a wonderful season, and from me, Teesh,
and from me, Cindy-Leigh,
hello from us.
Hello from us, Caro.